I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After highs mostly in the 70s this afternoon, even some low to mid 80s and near critical fire weather concerns. Lows tonight dip into the upper 30s to the mid 40s, possibly causing some patchy frost to form in some areas of Nebraska where there are some light winds. Tomorrow, very nice with highs in the 70s and light winds, bringing a break from fire weather concerns. Saturday, breezy southerly winds ahead of a cold front and breezy northerly winds behind it increase our fire weather concerns again. Saturday, the warmest day of the next week with summer-like highs in the upper 80s to the mid 90s. Winds are light on Sunday, keeping those fire weather concerns low despite the low humidity. Highs cool to more seasonal levels in the 70s for Sunday and Monday. Well above normal highs return the middle of next week as highs climb back into the 80s. For the long-term forecast, warmer than normal temperatures are very likely to continue for Nebraska and Kansas Tuesday through October 17th. Nebraska and Kansas rainfall Tuesday through October 17th likely to be below normal. There are some fairly big changes in the regional drought monitor. Nebraska dropped 12 percentage points to only 7% drought-free. Drought-free areas are limited to the far southwest and the southern panhandle. Much of central and west central Nebraska is now abnormally dry. Coverage of moderate to severe drought increasing 7 percentage points to 48% of Nebraska to include much of the northern and eastern parts of the state. Kansas dropped 2 percentage points and is also at 7% drought-free. Much of southwest Kansas and eastern areas just along and south of I-70 are drought-free to abnormally dry. Moderate to severe drought coverage in Kansas increased 4 percentage points to 50%, and that includes much of the north, central, and far south central and southeast areas of Kansas. Key weather factors affecting the markets include big drought reduction in the southeastern Corn Belt and southeast U.S. with the drier outlook and the chance of a big storm moving through Argentina and central Brazil. With winds increasing across the northern U.S. this late week and weekend, an elevated wildfire threat develops by tomorrow as far south as the northern Great Basin and as far east as Nebraska and the Dakotas. Large sections of the U.S., including the plains and much of the Midwest and West, experience dry weather in the next 5 days. A few late week and weekend showers may occur in the Pacific Northwest and the Northeast, while Florida's peninsula remains wet. Chances of tropical cyclone development over the Gulf of Mexico have slightly diminished, although locally heavy rain may still fall the next few days along the immediate Gulf Coast. Warm, mostly dry weather should prevail in southeastern flood recovery areas, with cooler air arriving early next week. Something to watch, a storm may move into the western U.S. late next week with the chance of rain as soon as next weekend in parts of the plains. It may take until the weekend of the 19th and 20th, though, before we see any of that rain. In central Brazil, wet season rains are spotty through next week. There's a higher chance of better rainfall in central Brazil late next week, helping to start widespread soybean planting. Towards Argentina, most areas are dry, which is greatly delaying corn planting for western areas and causing some to abandon the winter wheat due to poor conditions. Rains look more promising early next week in northern Argentina. Western Argentina, though, won't see enough rain to reverse this strong drought. Argentina soybean planting starts next month. That could be delayed if enough rain does not fall this month. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.